Hello, welcome to the news on Lagos Television. I am Bababumi Agbibi. The federal government has begun payment of the new minimum wage and its consequential adjustments to public servants across all levels of the federal civil service. This is coming 7 months after it began negotiations that ended with 70,000 naira. With this, over 1.2 million civil servants on the payroll of the federal government will be paid in the newly approved minimum wage. Dr. Oluwatoyin Madeyin, the Accountant General of the Federation, has signed the warrants for this month's salary and addressed it to the Federation's Budget Office. The federal government is expected to spend 4.019 trillion naira annually as its new wage bill. The federal government has suspended some senior officers of the Nigerian Correctional Service over bribery allegations regarding controversial cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, widely known as Bobrisky. In a statement, the Civil Defense Correctional, Fire and Immigration Services Board said the suspension of the officers followed a viral video on alleged infractions against them. The statement, which was signed by Jafaru Ahmed, said the suspension of the officers is to allow for further investigation of the various allegations while assuring that the outcome would be made public when concluded. The officers are Michael Onugwa, Deputy Controller of Corrections in charge of Medium Security Custodial Center, Kirikiri, Lagos State, and Sikiru Adekunle, Deputy Controller of Corrections in charge of Maximum Security Custodial Center, Kirikiri, Lagos State. Recall that a social media user, Martins Otse, known as Very Dark Man, had alleged in viral videos that some officers of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, collected 15 million naira from Bobrisky for the anti-graft agency to drop money laundering charges against him during his Naira spraying ordeal in April, after which a court sentenced him to 6 months imprisonment. The Very Dark Man also alleged that Bobrisky paid some millions of naira to secure a choice place in prison. Bobrisky has since denied allegations, while the EFCC and the Nigerian Correctional Service have ordered investigations into the allegations by the social media user. Still on Bobrisky, the House of Representatives has resolved to set up an ad hoc committee to probe the allegations of both Idris Okuneye, also known as Bobrisky, Martins Vincent Otse, also known as Very Dark Man, against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Nigerian Correctional Services. This followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance raised during plenary by Honorable Patrick Umo, member representing Ikot Ekpene Federal Constituency, Akwa Ibom State. Honorable Umo noted that the publication alleges that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, dropped money laundering charges against Idris Okuneye upon collection of the sum of 15 million naira.
Damning allegations against Nigerian critical law enforcement agencies of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and Nigerian Correctional Service, established by these hallowed chambers to fight correction and incarceration persons convicted of crime for correctional purposes, respectively, worried about the negative image and portrayal of Nigeria as a corrupt nation and Nigeria's struggle to redeem itself from such perception.
Also at plenary, the House adopted a motion which mandates its joint House and Senate ad hoc committee, when fully constituted, to urge the federal government to mandate the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and the Dangote Refinery to allow independent marketers to lift petroleum products from the Dangote Refinery.
Is to look into this same thing you are talking about. So I think it will be a duplication of efforts. I am sure in the course of the investigation, the GMD will be called upon to answer questions. So rather than subjecting him to several visits on one subject matter, I think we should put our confidence on the Joint Committee, let them do a holistic job, and report back to us.
Meanwhile, the House scaled through second reading a bill for an act sponsored by Honorable Moshood Oshun, member representing Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency, to provide for the establishment of Chartered Institute of Business Education of Nigeria, and will be responsible for advancing the study, training, and production of business education in Nigeria. Moving on, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, says the federal government has procured some imported staple foods such as maize and wheat to tackle food shortages in Nigeria. The minister made this known at an inter-ministerial press briefing as part of activities to mark Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. He said the procured food items would soon arrive in Nigeria, emphasizing that the importation is an interim measure to work side by side local food production. Nigeria is battling one of its worst economic crises in recent times, with rising living and energy costs, sparked by the twin policies of the government's removal of petrol subsidy and unification of the foreign exchange windows in May 2023. The wife of Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno, Patience Umo Eno, is dead. The State Commissioner for Information, Ini Ememobong, announced the First Lady's death in a press statement issued in the early hours of Friday. According to the Commissioner, the First Lady died at a hospital on September 26, 2024, surrounded by family members. The Governor, Umo Eno, further appreciates all who have stood by the First family and assures all the citizens of Akwa Ibom State that despite the personal loss, his commitment to the service of the state is unwavering. Further details will be provided by the family as necessary. In the meantime, the family kindly requests privacy as they mourn the late First Lady of Akwa Ibom State. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sympathized with his Akwa Ibom State counterpart, Umo Eno, over the passing of his wife, Patience Umo Eno. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in a statement issued by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Boyega Koshile, described the death of Patience Eno as a great loss, a sad episode, and a personal loss not only to the husband and family, but to the entire people of Akwa Ibom State. Governor Sanwo-Olu, while commiserating with Governor Eno, said although the Holy Scriptures are clear about life and death as one of the most constant human occurrences, it is usually not very pleasant when one loses a loved one. Governor Sanwo-Olu further implored his Akwa Ibom counterpart to take the death of his wife of many years in good faith and see it as the will of God. He urged him to have solace in the fact that the First Lady of Akwa Ibom State lived a fulfilled life, made positive impact, and left a lasting legacy. In sports, Vice-Chancellor, Lagos State University, Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello, is optimistic LASU will win the football gold of the ongoing All-Africa University Games FASU. Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello said LASU football team has displayed dexterity and determination right from day one of the event to get to the semi-final stage. LASU will play Unilag in one of today's semi-fixtures at the LASU football pitch at 4 p.m. The other game will see University of Development Studies take on Foye at the same venue.
Well, since we opened the games, we've had medals. And people have competed and they have been, they have won and lost. So the winners have been given their medals, and I know that judo competition has been, the judo games has been concluded, and the table is, LASU is leading the table for that game, judo. Others are still being computed, and we are hoping that Lagos State University will take the gold in football competition. We've challenged our students to make sure they do their best so that they can be the winners and just take the trip to Germany, show them what they are and how we are in Africa.
Aside the gold medal for the eventual winner of the football events, the team will represent Africa at World University Games in Germany in November. 17 universities across Nigeria and Africa are currently taking part in the FASU Games, which is co-hosted by Unilag and LASU. On the foreign scene, Shigeru Ishiba is set to become Japan's next prime minister after winning the leadership race within the ruling Liberal Democratic Party, LDP. This victory comes after a closely contested runoff vote where Ishiba secured 215 votes, surpassing his opponent, Sanae Takaichi's 194 votes. As the LDP has a majority in the lower house, Shiba's win essentially guarantees his position as Japan's next prime minister when Parliament convenes in October. With his victory, Ishiba has promised to restore the public's trust in the LDP, saying he speaks the truth with courage and sincerity and is by utmost to make Japan a safe and secure place. For more news, connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. Please remember to call Lagos toll-free lines 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. Many thanks for watching. I am Bababumi Agbibi. Join us again at 2.